In January of 2023, 4 little kittens arrived at BCR. They had been trapped by a TNR volunteer and all tested positive for feline leukemia, making it difficult for them to find homes. They had been in a foster home, but that foster home was eventually needed for healthy kittens that could be adopted. This is when they came to BCR. When the babies first arrived here, they had no names. So the BCR staff voted, and that is how Eric, Triton, Ariel, and Belle got their names. Unfortunately, Triton, Ariel, and Belle have passed over the Rainbow Bridge. We are so glad that we were able to give them so much love while they were here with us. Eric continues to live a happy life here at BCR, and we are so blessed to be able to continue showering him with endless snuggles, snacks, and love. The first time I met Eric, it was back when our quarantine room was still over in house 2, and they had said that we had got kittens, and it was Eric and his siblings, Ariel, Belle, and Triton. I was really excited because that was the first time, hi Aurora. That was the first time since I had started working here that we had like kittens come in. The only other cat that I had like experience coming into BCR was Pedro. So I was super excited and I like ran in there. Eric was so tiny and his head was so small. And he had on his little collar, and I went and I sat down on the floor with them, and he was the only one out of all of the kittens that came like right up and sat with me. And he sat in my lap, and I was like, oh my gosh, he was just so tiny and cute. I just fell in love with him. I just fell in love with him from the moment I pet him for the first time. I have a lot of favorite things about Eric. For starters, I love his little squeaky meow. I can always tell when it's him that's meowing, and he'll like pop his little head up in the door and squeak. I love when he gets in his like super playful moods and he's just like zooming everywhere, because he is a playful cat, but he's also a really chill cat. He's not like go 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 all the time. All around he's just perfect. Everything about Eric I just love. Back when I was still working part-time, I would usually spend like the last maybe 10-15 minutes of my shift, like once everything is done, I would go and sit in room 4 with Eric. We would always sit outside together, and I would sit in one of the chairs, and he would always come and like sit in my lap with me, and we would just hang out, and it was just always super nice. And I looked forward to that time like every single day, because it does get really chaotic over here sometimes, especially the first half of the day. So I always loved those times with Eric. He's honestly kind of always been the same. He's always been super sweet, kind of quiet, as far as like, he's not one of the cats that's really gonna be like, for lack of better terms here, like in your face all the time. But I would say I feel like he's gotten more like confident, like sure of himself. I don't know, I think before he might have been like a little bit of a follower, like kind of whatever the other cats were doing, he was like, okay, I guess I'll tag along. I feel like now he's a lot more okay with just kind of doing his own thing and like participating in the reindeer games when he feels like he wants to. But I think I would say that's how I've seen him grow, is he just seems like he's gotten a lot more confident and like a bit more outgoing than he was before. I would tell somebody meeting Eric for the first time that you're going to fall in love with him. That's just how it is. You meet Eric and you love him. He's the sweetest thing. Definitely make sure your lap is available. Eric loves to sit in laps. He is such a lap cat. Sometimes him and Lime will like wrestle over your lap, because Lime also is very much of a lap cat. So yeah, just I guess be ready to sit and hang out with him. Maybe bring some nice music to play or something. I don't know. It's just like a nice therapeutic meeting, I think. Like hanging out with Eric is very calming to the soul, in my opinion. He's so just like, whatever. Just doing his thing today. See, this is what I'm talking about. He's like, I don't feel like participating, so I won't.
I do remember meeting Eric for the first time. Eric was so handsome. I just thought he was the cutest thing. They told me how attached he was to Miss Faith. and that has that has really seemed to ring true. But he's just so adorable. He's a very handsome little man, and I just adore him. I feel like Eric has grown a lot. I do remember when I first started working with him, as polite as he was like, oh, who is this new girl, you know? But he's really come out of his shell. He loves to escape. He really does like to play jokes on the staff. He likes to play with all of the other kitties in the room as well. One of my favorite things about Eric is the fact that his eyes are so beautiful. Every single time I look at his eyes, they're so bright green. They're very, very calming. He's a very, very serene kitty as well. As much as he loves to play, he really does have his calming moments. And he's very, very polite. Very, very polite little man. He is a very, very... Sorry, Morticia. He is a very squeezable little man. One of the first times I groomed Eric, I would say, is one of my favorite moments with Eric, actually. He was very, very calming. His little eyes, he just likes to bat his little eyes whenever you groom him, and you can tell that he enjoys being groomed. He's very, very cooperative. Yeah, he's just a really good cat.